Well, today is the time I put my mic down where I can speak in it. Um, Today is Hannon Adventures Day. Hannon Adventures. This is the happiest dude on the internet. I really think so. He's always up, high spirits. Hello, how are you all today? And I did several screenshots on his video. The metal detector tore up on me. And he started off to do a video on his metal detector and it was broken. So I wanted to get a picture if I have it here. Oh my God, where are they all at? I took several pictures here. I wanted to, because it wound up, there's his metal detector, it tore up on him. Somehow I want to use that in the video because that was the main thing of the video. And he wound up going for a walk and shooting basketball, playing basketball. And the dude's not a bad basketball shooter, I'll tell you. He made a lot of baskets there. We're not going to see him on in the pros soon, but he was having a oh, where's that one? Oh my God, where's that one? Because that's going to be a nice capture right there to put in. And I've got to figure out how I'm going to put this together into a image. And what seems like it would be real easy isn't. It just isn't. But I do know the first thing I want to do is, and all my images are captured at 1360 by 768. So I've got to use, I've got to reduce the size so that they will match my 1280 by 720. That's just the size of what YouTube thumbnails are, and that's what I try to do all my images at. Let's go back to him here because I want the Hannon's Adventures somewhere in there. That I want for sure. And I need a starting point for a image. All these here are all different layers, different images. So I need one image to pick and use that as the basic image and add the others into it. So what I'm going to do here is I want the Hannon Adventures. If you've seen any other videos, I always take the name and the avatar, and I put that in the picture when I'm finished. So we're going to take that and copy it. And I'm wondering where I want to copy it. I kind of like where's the one where he's in the mid jump. I think that's the best one I got of him jumping there. The jump is kind of fun. I think I'll use the one of the jump. I might use more than one, but I'm going to take this one here to start with. I'm going to resize it. Image. No, I'm not. What I want to do is a clean it. That way, if I want to take that and use it as a bigger image on it, a new one, I can. I'm going to make a brand new image. New 1280 by 720. We'll start with a brand new clean image. Okay, and on there, I'm going to see if I can paste. There we go. And that'll be the very, very top layer. To a new layer, and it will be up here in the corner when I get finished. I don't know if I can this is very early to start playing with stuff like this, but I'm going to see if I can make that white stand out a little bit more. I'll take the colors and let me change the brightness and contrast on that. See if I make that white stand out. Maybe I'll have to blow it up a little bit. Add more contrast. There's the Hannon Adventures is better there. Okay, now I can blow it up just a little bit. I had my computer on dark screen, so everything is on black on it. And we'll resize it. And that right there again, if those are locked, it stays in the correct aspect. If it's unlocked, you can change the aspect. Of course, we want the aspect the same here, so we'll just jack this up to, let's see, we'll go up to 275. Scale it. Now let me look at this closer. That looks pretty good. That's pretty good. But we'll turn it off now because we want to use the layer below it. Now what I want to do is go up to another image and pull a piece out of it. Now I've used this one. I don't know if I want to use this face out of there or not. I'm going to cut it and paste it on that other one just in case I decide to. I just might. So we're going to edit and cut that. Oh, look, it cut both of them. And I want to paste it on my new image over here. And I don't want them both, so I'll have to select none. Put it to a new layer. And I'm going to select, we make that layer the same size as the image. And since I've got that one up on top, I don't want this little one down here, so I can cut that. And we're not sure what we're going to do with him, but we've got him in case we want him. Okay. Now let's go back here and see what else. We're done with that first image. I don't want anything else out of there, so I'm going to... oh, yes, I do want something else in there. The name of the video. I should have done that. That way when I selected it, it would only give me the one. Remember, this is one. This is multiple selections. I want one selection. I want the other ones not to show, so I go here and let's do a cut. And we go back to our very beginning layer and we paste it on it. Now remember, this stuff is on here. I just don't have it visible right now. So we're going to go in here and we're going to paste, select, paste as a new layer. And there it is. Now I think I want to change that around. I'll make a copy of it before I do that. But I think I want to take that and invert the colors. And then see if I can't resize it a little bit. Again, I want to keep it in proportion, so scale. And let's work on the contrast on that. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I'm showing everybody how to use these tools. And that's what's important, is to see how to use the tools. And we'll take the brightness down a little bit too. So we turned that into this. And this will go into our picture probably, let me see, when we look at an image, we say, okay, image, let's take our view and say, we want the view, we want to fit it in the window. And if you see that there's a whole 1280 by 720 is inside of this one window. I don't have to slide this bar or pick up this space bar and slide it around to get the whole image in here. And we'll take this and we slide it down to the bottom here, because that's probably where it's going to wind up, but I don't know for sure. And that one we make invisible, slide it to the very bottom, because there's not much of a chance I'll use that there. No, not much of a chance of it. And this one here, we go to this layer and tell it to layer to image size. So what have we got here? We got that up on top and we have him there. Now we have to work on a base image to go inside of this. And again, I think we don't need this now. Get rid of that. I think I see what I could do about grabbing him off of that part. That won't be the only thing. I don't think. But it definitely will be a part. And I'm going to capture that whole thing. Select all. And paste it on my new image here. Oh my God, how did I do? How did I do that? I said, you know why? I'm going to explain why this happens. I have a couple programs where automatically, when I select them, I don't have to copy them because they know when I select, I mean select and copy. But it doesn't, but I haven't found a way to do that with this program yet. That doesn't mean it can't be done, and I haven't really set out to do it, but I definitely should because it causes me a lot of problem. Edit, paste as a new layer. Now we want to shrink that down. I'll make that visible, and I'll make that visible on top. That's just to give me some idea of what I'm doing here. And let's change the size of this. If I back way off, you can see the image is bigger than what my the actual image right here is bigger than what the image I want to use is. And I can show that here because look, I can slide that around inside there. I think probably it would be best to use it this way. We'll get that piece of tire out of there, or whatever it is. And I think we'll try that. And now we'll make that the image size right there. We also I don't like that corner up there. So I'll get rid of that corner. I'll take that corner, and the way I'll get rid of it is a little different. Instead of just trying to erase it or something, I'm just going to go on top here, the layer above it, and see if I can't paint over it. So I go here and I get my paint color. Here, paint color. And I go up here and I paint over it. Or would I might be better to paint under it. See, that's why there's so many ways of doing things here. So many different ways. If I select this, if I select it, let's see what happens. It actually selects very, very good. It's made to select and get rid of. So I'm just going to hit delete and have that gone. It was made to do that. I mean, it just came out so easy. I had nothing really to have to fight with there. So I've got the paint color right there, and I can go underneath it then and paint this whole thing. If you look here, I'll paint that whole layer this color. Then when I put these back, that color is covered. Slightly different color. So let's see what we can adjust here. Go to colors, adjust the brightness and contrast. We'll take the brightness up a little bit. Look at that. We got it to blend. There's still a tiny bit of line in there, but that's very easily taken care of. And let's get rid of that. That little tiny line, which really doesn't show much at all, but we can blend that with the brush. And look, my opacity isn't 100%, so I'll have to take several strokes in there to do it. But I'll be able to take that top part and blend it right in. Now you don't even see it. And if you look at the top part, you see where I blended it, see? And it blended right in. So now take this, merge it down, and we've got that image clean with that corner missing, and there's no sign of that old image being in there. Okay, now what are we going to do with him? Let's pick this again here, and it probably should be blown up even more, but I want other things in the picture, so I want to be careful what I'm doing here. See these cans over here? I might even be able to cover them with just him here. I'll take that picture. Let's see what I can do with that if I take and reverse it. You don't want them facing off the screen, so we'll have them facing in the screen. Oop. Go to the layer I want to flip, and I hit flip. Right here is the flip the image. And we'll take that and increase it in size a little bit. And at this point, I'm not even 100%. I'm even going to use it. I'm experimenting here. And if I drag that down then, let's see what I could do with the colors. I'll put it again to image size, layer to image size. I put the border back where it belongs. And play with those colors a little bit and see if I can't lighten him up. I don't want to lighten that sky up, so I'm just going to select him out. I will pick him up with that tool, and I'll take that tool and give it a fuzzy edge. I'll feather it. I don't want a sharp edge where he's at. I just want to pull him out. Feather it with the 24. 24 is pretty big. And see what I can do here. I'm going to try to select him, not that background so much, and see if I can lighten him up a little bit. And hold control and click that, and it locks into it. As soon as I hit something else, it turns into a selection. Now in reality, it's only selecting him right there. So I could take that part and say, okay, colors, let's change the brightness and contrast on that, and we want it brighter. And if we make it brighter, of course, we have to change that contrast a little bit. Okay, and select none. Not great, not bad. It's a small image. Well, let's look at it when we blow it up. Because that's 1280 by 720. It might not even look any good at all. Or it might look better. God, I probably could even cut that whole background out and just use him in there. That's what I think I'll do. So go here. And I'll just separate him out of the image. You see the difference. This here is affecting the curve. And this one here, where it's going to go next. Okay, we'll get him in here. We can probably get that much of the hat all at once to do that big a curve. Okay. Drag that back down and do another arc in there. Again, drag it back. I let go of the mouse and I re-clicked it to do that drag. We'll do another one there. Let go. And I'll click it a couple times in here. And I think I'll zoom in and do that here. I'd rather zoom in and do that than okay, that ought to be good enough there. This is just a lot of patience here to do this. I want to get where I can tell stories while I'm doing this, but right now I get so wrapped up in what I'm doing because I'm not reasonably new, I'm death-defyingly new at trying to do drawing and talking. If I talk, otherwise it was always to myself, and it didn't matter. Okay, select from the path, and then invert it. Now we take the selection and invert it. Now if you notice, let me back out so you can see it. I've actually selected everything except for him. That way when I hit delete, it leaves just him in there. Now we'll do select none and put this thing back together. Put the pieces back together. And because of the way I've got that, let's take and slide him over once. I don't want to slide him completely off to the side, but I do like that over there. But I don't like that in there. Let me get rid of him for a minute and see what I can clean up over here. I might be able to take some of this and put it over here and get by with it. Might be able to do that. It'll be light colored compared to that, but I might be able to darken it up. So I'm going to go to this. I'm going to cut off a chunk of that brush. Cut off a chunk of that brush in there. Cut off a chunk of that. I'm going to copy it, edit, copy, edit, paste in place. Turn that into a layer at the image size, up to a new layer. And I'm going to flip it. And when I flip it, it should appear over here. There you go. Now I've got to find out how to fake that out so it looks like it really belongs there. And I think I can do that actually by erasing a little bit of that with a very, very controlled eraser. So to control an eraser, we'll pick the eraser. We've got that size, but we cut down the opacity. That's the ability for it to erase. One click won't do very much. You say that one click what it did, and if I gradually do that in there, I can make that shadow look like it's a natural shadow taking place. Now these are identical because of that design. So what I'm going to do is take that shrubbery and bring it down here. And how I do that is I use a cloning brush, which you guys haven't seen me use, I don't think. And I'm going to take this and merge it down. I can't clone just that layer. I've got to have a layer beneath it and join them together. Now I can take this, push down, I pick the clone brush, the clone here, put the part down I want to clone, push down control, and when I click it, see all of a sudden it had the line that said forbidden, it went away. I'll show you again. It says forbidden. I can't do anything with it, but if I push down the control and push down the key, now it's a brush. And it's actually a brush of that area where that circle is. And I don't think I'm going to use it full intensity. I'm going to go back to my cloning, to my opacity, and gradually do that. And that almost looks like it belongs there. Let me use that again. I'm going to take a little bit of this and put it over there. So I push down the control brush again, click here, and I'm going to raise my opacity because that came out pretty good. Go down to the layer I'm working on. Click there and go. Let's get rid of that one now. Let me merge it down. Too much opacity. I think I would be better off if I had a fuzzy edge. Matter of fact, I know I'd be better off with a fuzzy edge on it. I reselect that area and a lot of things experiment. You experiment and say, oh, this is working, this isn't working, and God, I probably could use that full opacity, that edge, that hardness of the brush, which is adjustable. How soft that edge is adjustable. And I'll show you something. This whole thing is to show more than anything else. So, okay, let's select none. Great, no. Okay, yes. Because what I'm going to do is put him on top of it. So it's really not going to matter a whole lot. It's just showing everybody how that's done. I'm going to take him and pull him down and put him in that area. And then take him and lighten up. I'm going to try something I haven't done with curves. I do curves with black and white all the time, but I don't do it much with the colors. So I'm not sure. Something tells me that if I were to make an S with that, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. You don't need an S. I just need a big bow to it. Now I got to make that to the layer size and see if I can't sharpen him a little bit. We'll take enhance and unsharpen. Just a little bit better, but it's good enough. Of course, you can run any control like that 2 or 3 times if you wanted to. If you wanted to do that. Now he's the one that's important. That guy there is important. Let's see if I can separate him from that picture, and then we take the trees and we turn them into an indexed color. Everything. You know, what again, I say this all the time, and I want people to realize I do not plan any of this ahead. My only planning was I pulled the screen captures prior to the drawing. I have no idea what I'm going to make until it goes. So we're going to try this, and I actually would like to have him sharp. But that could be a lot of fooling around. But I guess fooling around is what it's all about, isn't it? To do what you need to do, and you do it. So if I cut him out separately, and that, I'll have to start like this. This is the best way to start. There's him. Invert. And delete. Now that's all gone. Now after I cut him out, I'll put that back. But I want to cut him out from here. Okay, now we're going to select none and see what I can do about cutting him out. I like this tool a lot, and if I zoom in, I probably can do it quite well with that tool. That's the path tool, and the path tool is pretty fantastic when it comes right down to it, what it can do. On a lot of things, you don't have to bend it and bow it around, but on a curve is where it really shows itself off, because it can follow that little bit of curve with no problem and make it smooth. Straight lines are no problem. If you go click, 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 that's great. That's great. See, even there, I probably can do a curve. Look at that. See? 100% natural. No. Working, yes. Right there. And you never use a death-defyingly sharp edge anyway. You want to put a little bit of feather in that so it won't really matter if it's not 100% true. You want to do it good as you can. And I'm not doing image work. If you're doing image work for photographs, the whole world changes. What I'm doing has nothing to do with photographs. Photographs are a whole different world because your resolutions are so different. I shouldn't say different world, but it's much, much, much different. What you can do with a graphic picture on a computer and what you can do with a photograph isn't the same. The computer covers a world of sins. Okay, if I push it down, I make that connect. Then I go up here and say select from path and delete. Okay, select none. And I'll just use the eraser on my brush to get this. I get a sharp brush. And I'll erase that little corner down there. Oh, I don't need to be careful with opacity. I just want it gone. Okay, so we got him up to here. Now the basketball. This basketball, I think a lot up here can be selected by the magic wand. There, that did a pretty good job. And instead of just hitting delete, let me see, could I just hit delete in there? I can if I didn't get part of the, no, it doesn't have it in. I didn't want it to drop into that stand because then if I hit delete, it wouldn't have been any good. Select none. Now we still have a little bit of an edge on that basketball, but we can live with that. Now we want to cut this area out in here. We'll go back with the magic wand. I'm kind of curious how many people watch this all the way through. And it would be kind of nice to be told. If you really watch all the way through, let me know. Because I know the speed drawings are great. That I know. It just makes it much easier for, well, what I do that for. And I can't, see, the thing is too bad is I can't go Control S with a wand. It won't let me do that. I shouldn't have done that. See, the difference is with this tool, I select from path. When I use this tool, I just hit another tool and it selects it. And I'll show you this way. You'll see why sometimes I go and I hit a tool in it and I destroy my path. It's because I use this one here a lot too. And if you use this one, this is actually a pretty good tool too. And again, if you use a draw pad, it's really good. But I'm pretty used to a mouse. So I'm fine. Now once you're at a point there, I can just draw it and click it, click it, click it. Control, click again. And when I hit another tool, it selects it. Now if I was using that tool and I chose another tool, it would erase it. It would just, it wouldn't delete anything. It would just delete my path. And I'd have to do it all over. So in a lot of ways, this here is a pretty good tool, the lasso. And since I've got one here chosen, as soon as I click this, that other one will disappear. I shouldn't say it will disappear. It'll only select one area at a time. the other area disappeared as soon as I selected it. Now when you feather it, and I probably feathered too much because look what I did to his arm in there. I did feather too much. I did feather too much. Let's see if I'll get rid of that feathering. I don't know if that will do, if I can change it in the middle or not. I've never tried that. It's didn't do it. I still got that feather back there. But I think I'm okay because once he's selected, I can actually choose him from that layer right there. So I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay, let's select none. And let me back off this. Push down space and I can drag this image around then. And I think I'm going to take my feathering off of that. If I feather, it's okay to feather, but not that much. I should just feather that a couple. Then I can choose it. And push that there. I give him. I was going to make a curve, and I realized I had the wrong tool to make a curve with. And there's his phone right there in his hand. Something that's not basketball. His camera is watching, so I'm assuming that's his phone right there. You know, I said it before, you know, I'm 70 years old, 71 next month. And this technology freaking amazes me. I love it. I love it. I don't know what it's going to do to the world, but I love it. And I know another thing. Internet is not going to stay like it is. It's not going to stay like this. This will be something that there will be a day when you will be telling your grandkids. I remember when all that stuff was free out there. I remember all that, you know, because they won't believe it. This internet will not remain like it is. It's too good. And it's doomed for a change because it's so good. There's too much of a chance of people organizing together against what they don't like. And there's many powers out there that don't like that. There's too much for free. And I don't think so. I don't think so. But I know that there's people out there looking at it going, there's too much for free. We could be making money off of this. And that's what's going to happen. The internet might be there, but it will be for people that have the money. And it will be so controlled that you'll never feel that freedom that we have today with it. And I'm an old dude, but I know damn well that the government and the big businesses are not going to let you keep this internet like it is now. It's the most wonderful thing in the world, and as a commodity, it's freaking gold. And it's going to be turned into as commercial as possible. Not by the small bit. You know, there's a funny thing about people. It's Boy, some people are going to hate to hear me say this. I'm going to lose people over this remark. But it's true. It's so true. There's a lot of... Oh, do I hate them? No, never mind. I won't even get into it. I won't get into it. There'll be people hate me for this. And I don't want people to hate me. That means you got to be careful what you say on here within reason. I'll say a little bit of it real. I can't help it. I got to do a little bit just to preach. Rich people are taken care of astoundingly, and that's how I'll do it. I won't pick political parties. I'll say rich people are taken care of astoundingly by people that think someday I'll be rich too. And these are the freaking dreamers out there. And they take care of the rich people because they think, well, when I'm rich and I'm a millionaire, I wouldn't want to pay all those taxes. And I wouldn't want to do this, and I wouldn't want to do that. And they don't realize that it's a dream. And that's too bad. But it's also the nature of man. Okay, here we go there, and we'll delete that and try to get a sharper edge. Select none. Now if I take that and try to pick just him out of it, see what happens. I have no spaces in here. If you have used this tool, if there were spaces, they'd be up, but I don't need that tool. This one here should be good enough and should pick just him out. And it did. Shows a couple spots right in there, which what I'll do is unselect, and I'll just pick an eraser, and I'll go and I'll put it over the top of that, and that'll get rid of anything. It should be gone now. But it's kind of comical when you realize what it is. It's a... Oh, I didn't get close enough to that face. I don't mean to be bad when I say that. I really don't. I don't mean to be bad in anything I say. I try never to be negative, but somehow I got dumb and had to say that. Okay, select. Now let's invert that selection. And we're going to cut him out. Cut. Because we're going to paste him as a new layer. Paste him in place. No, paste him as a new layer. Paste as a new layer. First we want to select nothing there. Select none. And then we want to paste him as a new layer. To unselect is very important to do. A lot of times it can make you a problem. That it paste as a new layer. And there he is. Now let's back off on this whole thing. See what we have here. We have him. That layer can be the same size as the image. We have that there. He's almost in exactly the same position, but not quite. So let's move him down a little bit so he's in the same position. We can use a key to do it slowly instead of trying to drag him. There's exactly in the same spot. Now we'll make it to image size, layer to image size. Now let's take this bottom layer and copy it. That one right there. Select all, edit, copy. We're just copying this layer right here. And we're going to paste that, edit, paste as a new image. And there is that new image right there. I don't want him in it. Oh, that's not the new image. Jesus. Where is the new image at? Where'd my new image go? I took this, I blank this, blank, blank, blank. Did I not click paste as a new image? Did I paste that as a new layer? Looks like it. Oh my god. Okay, select all, edit, paste as a new image. Huh. Okay, I don't want that basketball in there. So we'll just smudge that out. Because I'm going to change my... okay, let's go this way here. I'm going to tell this image to go to an index image of 10 colors. God, I could even use that. Use less. Index color. Okay, let's go. I guess I got to undo it before I can change it again. Index. Let's change it to 6 colors. That's a little better. Okay, edit, select all, edit. Select all, edit, copy. And we'll go back to our image here that we were working on, wherever that is. That's the one. And we're going to paste a new layer in there. Select none, edit, paste as a new layer. And there's the layer we just did right there. So now if we put him on top, this is going to be our background. We're going to put him on top here, doing a basketball. And I've got to do something in there, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that right now. That background, I should have got rid of the basketball and not that back end. Let's just do it again. Let's just do it again. You make mistakes. It just happens. You make mistakes. Back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Now, I should have just got rid of that basketball and that been it. So we go here. And actually it would be just as well to paint over it. And maybe I can even make a little bit of that tree in that area if I take and do a little bit of cloning on it. So I'll use my cloning tool and I'll mark this here and we'll clone it here. Nope, we want to clone it higher. Not working like I want. I don't want that white in there. Oh my god. Okay, so select. Just select it. I'll just select some. Copy it. Paste it in place. A new layer in place. That will let me tip it and then slide it. Okay, go to select none. Have that go to a new layer and then slide it over that. Slide it right in there. Okay, and if I erase this little bit in there, we got it. Good enough. Now let's merge that down, merge down. I didn't like what I did in there with the and merge down. I don't like that, how that turned out. Behind. find the image now. Oh my God, I don't like that dip in the blue, and I don't have to have that. And if I use this image, it'll be gone. So I'll take this image here and say, okay, image mode, indexed, make it to 6, convert, edit copy, select all, copy, and I'm going to go back here, and instead of this image here, I'm going to paste that new image there. Paste as a new layer, and that looks better. That definitely is better. And there he is throwing the basketball up. Good. Here his body is over here. Good. We'll view it and fit it into the window. Fit image into the window. We'll put the part down at the bottom. We'll put the tag up at the top. Okay, now this is really pretty good. Pretty good. Except there's no need for him to be now. Oh, look at. I want to move him. If I move him, I'll mess everything up. Because I'm saying, hey, this will look good if I can make him way up there. Oh my God, look what I did. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I'm going to duplicate that layer no matter what. That way, if it turns into too big a problem, I'm not going to do it. Now I've got to cover up that back part. Okay. I'm hesitating because I'm thinking, how am I going to do that now? Let's get rid of that. This is the layer I want to change. This one right here. Make rid of everything else that's out of there. That's the one I want to change. And I'm going to try something here without knowing for sure. This dark, if this whole shirt is the same color as that, it'll work out fine. So I'm going to use my color. I'm going to pick that color and pick that dark green. That does not look like that color, but it's supposed to be. But you know what? I don't believe it. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but I don't believe that's the same color. If it is, I'm going to be even more amazed. See how I talk about you can't tell? In my other video, I said you can't tell colors. And I look up here and see that black, and look down here and see that, and those do not look the same. Yet, that is my brush. And when I hit it here, it's the same flipping color. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But it's like in my last video, I was talking about how you can really be deceived by colors. You can, because you just plain can't tell. God, what a perfect example that was. If you go back to my past video, I was talking about that very thing. Saying, hey, colors are so deceiving. You look at it in one place, and when you look at it another, it's just not the same. So now I can get rid of all that in there. And I actually can, I might even be able to spot that. Let me see if I go up here to my cloning brush and clone this. I hit down Control and press my key. That clones it. Then when I put it here, it paints it. And if I hadn't had a hard brush, it would have been better. So let me undo that. Undo, and I'll do it with a softer brush. There's my cloning tool. Hold down my Control key, press it, then and there we go. Now to get that piece in there, I will actually take this piece right here. I'll take this and make a copy of it. edit copy, paste in place, put it to a new layer, then I can move it and try to cover that area in over there. Take it there, rotate it, and slide it down. Whoop, there's it. Now let's slide it down. It looks to me like that'll do it. We'll turn that into to the image size, and right in here I'll just erase a little bit in that spot right there. I'll go up here to erase it, and I'll use a high opacity, and I can blend it right in. Okay, good. Now we put them back in there. Jumped up there, and it looks fine. Perfect? No. Fine? Yes. Good. Good. Now, what else are we going to do? You always got to do a little more. You can't just be happy that easy. Let's go to the very top here. And I'm going to pick out this, I'll pick out this blue from his shirt. I like to use existing colors. We'll make a new layer from visible. That's just in case we've got that in there. Now what can be merged down? The more things merge together, the easier it is to do when you're working with layers. So we take that layer and let's merge it down. Now we have both of these in one layer. We can take him and merge him down, merge him into it. So we'll take that, merge down, and we'll merge down here. So all in one layer we have all of that. Good. So we've got here, I've got this layer picked. I'm going to get the color of his shirt, the blue of his shirt. I'm going to add another layer in here. Okay. And I'm actually going to put that layer beneath him. I want it beneath that layer right there. There's another layer. And if I'm going to do that shirt, I should use the blue on there, I think. And you'll see why in a minute. If I use that blue, it'll blend too much. This blue is enough different. If I pick it there, and there it changed. And I want to pick there. No feathered edges, none of that. I don't have any of those goodies in there. And we'll do an outside here. I'm going to lower this down a little bit. And I'm not sure why I want it down, but I do. Oh, because I can write up on top of it. That's why. So we have that layer there, and I'm going to fill that whole layer in. And then I'm going to shrink it. Select, shrink, and let's shrink by 12. That's a good size. It'll be very visible. Shrink it by 12. Select none. And notice it's behind everything. Behind him, behind that, behind everything. There it is, and it's behind everything. But I like the little tiny space in there. And if you've seen my other things, you see I like that little tiny space. So if I go up here, I select all those items, I invert it, select invert, then I grow those items, select grow by 12. And see where that line goes out into the, let me show you here. See that outside border? The area selected from above has that little gap, and that little gap in there, and that little gap in there covered. So when I hit delete, it put a space. It's got a little tiny space there, a little space there, a little space at his shoulder, and a little space there. Personally, I like that. Some people might not, but I like it. And now I can take that, and I've got a space of 12, so I can actually take this line right here, choose it, and we'll choose it there, because I select multiple layers, increase the size, select grow by 2, only by 2. If I go underneath there and paint it white, it should make that stand out more. Not on him, on this layer. I need another layer here. Is that my layer? Yeah, that's my layer. Make that layer. I better do another layer just in case I have something on that I didn't know about. So I've got that one there. That's a brand new layer right there. And if I paint this, I'll put a little white outline all the way around it. And because I made it 12, it reduced it now to 10, but it still is nice. And that made it stand out against the background. Now, there's the top. There's the bottom. We merge those two together, merge down, select none, and say, Jesus, that looks nice, but that's a little bit intense up there. Oh, okay, let's take the opacity down a little bit. There it is. And I think we've got it here. I've done a pretty good shout out for Hannon here, and at the same time I've made my image, and I've made and this will turn into a thumbnail. What do I want to call this thumbnail? Using Gimp to make shout outs? There we go. Shout it out with Gimp. I like that. Oh my God. When people see that, they'll say, geez, oh man, I have to click that guy. I've got to click that video. And then after they click it, they'll be looking at it and they'll be saying, not only that, but I've got to share this video because it's so flippin' neat. Oh my God. Okay. Now we got to put a top layer on. Gimp tutorial. Shout it out with Gimp. Do we like that lettering style? No, we don't like that lettering style. So let's not do that. Let's pick another lettering style. We'll pick a bolder lettering style because we want to shout it out, dudes. We want to shout it out. Okay, so where's a shout out looking letter? I look at jungle. If you can't shout it out with a jungle, what can you use? Let's try this. Oh, that's an outline. That's inline, outline. Do I really want to do that? I haven't used that. Let me look at one of these letters large and see what it is. How does that look? It's apparently got an outline in it. Yeah, that's not bad. I can put black in that outline. It'll look fine. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Oh, now don't go back to the little letter. What did I pick you out to be? I picked you out much bigger. I know I made you bigger than that. $120. That way I got it in my mind. Okay, there. Gimp tutorial. shout it out with Gimp. No, we just go shout it out. Shout it out. Oh no, that's good. Shout it out with graphics. Shout it out with graphics. And I'm going to have to make that smaller because I want to fit it in here. So let's see if I select them all. Control A, select all. Shrink the size a little bit. See, the reality, if only one person watches this, it'll probably be Hannon. Okay. Let's take this and slide it up here. We'll select them all. Oh, we got to go back and hit that tool. Select all. And let's line it up. See the different lineups? I can line up like that, which is not good. That way looks like it'll be good. Gimp tutorial, shout it out with graphics. Now to have it fit in there right, I've got to reduce the size. I definitely see that. So let's reduce that size down a little bit. Okay, now I'll move it over to one corner. And we'll make that into a new layer. Or we'll merge it into a new layer. Take that layer to image size, take that new layer, slide it under there, and then we'll take this top one, and I want to get that space area in there. Isn't that something? I'm not real sure how I want to do this, how I have to do it. I'm going to select none. And I'm just going to do the outside of all those letters. And then I'm going to take and select and invert it. Now I've also not got the center of that O because of the way I chose to select. But that's okay. I think I can just go up there and do that separately. And see that little invisible layer around it? I think I can take that layer and paint it black. There, see that? Those letters aren't as clean as I thought they would be, though. Because that in there, that area right there should be black. Well, maybe it is. Maybe I got to zoom up in on it. Let's see. Zoom up. Oh, yeah, it's there. It's there. It just did it in a different spot. It all worked. As a matter of fact, I probably can just do that and pour it. Now I see it's working. I can just pour it. That does all of them. A little bit in there missed. But that's the letters. That's not me. That's the way the letters are made. So if I go on top, I don't want that center done. So I go on top with the magic wand and say, hey, do multiples. We're going to select none right now and say, get this center, get that center, let's get that center, and what more? That one, and that one. And let's delete them in that bottom layer. I just click the bottom layer and deleted what I selected on top. This actually come out pretty good. That the font itself didn't have that curved in there. God, am I going to be so picky as to try to draw that one line? Yes, of course I am. I can't stand. I look at that and I go, oh my God, I can't believe that that font would like that. Okay, so if I go in here, oh my God, I've got to actually use a pencil, use a hard brush, take the size down to 1, and see if I can't paint that in a new layer. I don't want to fool up my existing layer. I'll go here and go. God, I got to zoom in more on that. Okay. Can do that one. Oh, that's got to be on top of the white. So we move it up one more. There. Good enough. I'm happy it's all closed in. Oh, not quite all closed in. Almost all closed in. Okay, now if I back alpha on it. Good. I'm happy now. I'm happy with it. I'm pretty picky, huh? Gimp tutorial shouted out with graphics. Good. God, that might be nicer if it was red though, wouldn't it? Let's put another layer in here and take a look at something. Red's a little gaudy, but it might be. Okay, so we got to take and merge these three together. Merge down. Merge down. That way all my letters are together there. That way if I go here and I go, pick me out just the centers, it should pick me out that center. And notice I've got multiple choices. Oh, look, that was a bad P. There's something in there that made it get outside of the line. So there's a spot in there that should be black that's not. So let's zoom in on it and find it. There it is, that little spot right there. See, when I selected the inside, it went through that and it escaped. So let me go back into here, get that brush and recover that. Now why aren't you painting that? What am I doing wrong here? Here's the brush, there's the hard, there's the difference. There's nothing in that top layer. Oh, because I've got that selected. You can't paint one area when you've got another selected. Those are still selected. So I've got to unselect them. Select none. Then I can paint here. Because it'll only let you paint in a selected area if you have a selection made. So I'm going to look these over here and let's see if there's any place else I see that. They all look closed in. Oop, that one definitely isn't. Okay, so we go down here and we will close that R in. Now I should be able to select all the centers. And isn't that something? I'm going to go and select all these, do all this, and I might not even like how it looks. And decide not to do it. But I think it'll look nice red. I just have that feeling that that'll look good red. Okay, now I've got to go out there and select every one of those letters again. Oh my God, look at that. Here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like they're all flawless. What am I counting for? I really don't care how many it is. Because I feel like since somebody's watching this video, that I've got to be moving my lips and talking. I can't just have quiet time. The thing is really too bad is now I can't draw without talking. It just doesn't work. I try to draw and I find myself talking to myself while I draw. And my poor wife sits over here and looks at me. And she doesn't cry, but I see her eyes getting wet. I'm thinking, I got myself a crazy American. Poor me. Oh my God. Poor Myra. Poor, she's over there. Poor you. Poor you. Poor me. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my God. That's a good guess. That was a good guess. So now let's merge it down. That was a good guess. Select none. They're not selected. Now let's view it. Let's fit in the window. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. The only thing missing is everybody likes a star. Isn't that weird? People like stars a lot. I can go through my videos and look, and if there's a star on it, it's clicked more than any other video. My star videos, the ones with stars on them, get clicked more. People are weird. Oh my God, people are weird. So let's make a star. We'll go click, 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 click. And push down the control key and close it up. And then say select from path, and watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint it black. Oh my God, who likes black stars? Paint it black. But I'm going to take and select and shrink it by 6 and then paint it yellow. Look at that. Now we're going to select none. And let's write subscribe in there. But we don't want it in that color. We want it in red. And we don't want that font. Oh my God, I got to back everything up. I'm not even ready to select that yet. I'm not ready to, now I got it from here. I want to pick my font out. Okay, so now I got to get a different font. Oh my goodness, we're font happy on this one. Here's that's a bold one. That's too bold. Pacifico, that's kind of a neat looking, but it's not a ransom note? No. Okay, that's a good all-time favorite right there. And we'll add a layer, so we're not doing it in the same layer. But automatically adds in the layer. I didn't have to do that, but how come? How come I didn't remember to change that? Because when you hit the paint, it's gonna when you hit a letter, it's gonna want to use the whatever is in that foreground. It's the nature of the way it works. Okay. How come I was going to write Ubuntu? Oh my God. Subscribe. Now let's do it in bold. See if it's already bold. I can't do it bolder than bold. Okay, let's swivel it a little bit. We'll do a little bit of a tilt to it. Rotate it, and then let's give it a little slide in the right position. And I guess we gotta either rotate it more. Oh no, we don't have to rotate it more. That's okay right there. We can always go to this layer and rotate the star. Now when you rotate, oh, this is an interesting thing. I haven't said this to anybody yet. I've told nobody. When you choose something to rotate, for instance here, I want to rotate that star. You see that point in the middle? That's the rotation point. If I don't move that, when I rotate, it'll rotate on that rotation point. If I change that rotation point and put it here, it will rotate at that point. See? Did you all learn anything there? And whenever you rotate, you change the way it's set, so you've got to redo your border to image size. And where's my subscribe at? That's not it there. That's it there. And no matter what it looks, no matter what I do, it looks like I'm gonna have to shrink it down a little bit. Not true, see? Not true. Watch this. So I go back here. I say, let's change the size of that. Oh, I don't want to change the whole thing. I just want to change the width on it. Can I do that? Of course you can. You just disconnect them right here. And then I can drag just the side out. Okay? That's something a little different. Okay, so now it looks like it's starting to get to where it can fit. And I'll go up there at this, I'll go down here and make it all at the image size, layer to image size, go back up here, and now I'm actually going to resize the lettering on it. I don't have much of a choice. The letters are just too big for where I chose to put them at. God, I have such a hard time doing that though. If I swivel those letters. Oh my God, look what I did. Okay, don't do that. You're gonna swivel your letters. Not. And it's already based in the middle. Rotate, now resize it. I tried so hard not to want to resize that. Isn't that weird how I didn't want to resize it? But I can kind of shape it with a skew in there that makes it look neat. Okay. There to image size. There we go. Oh my God, the last little bit took up. Oh, but I still like a black edge on my letters. I always like a black edge on my letters. So if I pick those letters out, I go and pick out just the letters. Subscribe in here. And then I make a layer below. Increase the size of the letter. Select grow by 1. No, let's grow by 2. Let's see. I don't blend too much. I'll show you what I mean when I say it blends too much. I want to put a black background, but I don't want to put everything surrounded in it. Oh, that come out pretty good. Oh my God. It looked like they're all going to blend together, but they don't. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I thought I'd have to shrink it down to 1 pixel. It's still a little bit gaudy. Yeah, just take a little bit of the glare off the black, I guess. Tiny bit of opacity in there. Okay, that's good. Oh my God. We're going to call this one a video. And thank you, Hannon Adventures, for letting me use your image here. And you have a good day.